We're here at the Toughsheet Community Stadium in Bolton, but this time we're not here for a toy fair. We're here for the first ever Bolton Gaming Market. And what's this? Why, it's a new list. And hopefully I'm going to be able to find most of the items on here. And if not, well, it'll just be Toughsheet. Let's go and see what they've got. So I might have to get that one for my Master System shelves. Could always stick it on the edge.
But any rocks like £5 postage. If you sign up to our
mailing
list, right down the bottom of the website, we send out an offer every month, like a coupon.
Don't have enough Game Gear games to warrant getting a Game Gear sign.
So I'm going to get some
There's a few loose cards as well at that.
Oh, I don't do loose cards.
And then possibly on that one, the expensive ones.
Right.
The higher end ones.
Is that Ghosts and Goblins sun faded? Or is it just a light? That's what I meant, yeah.
There's no manual either with that one.
Oh, right, I'll leave that then, yeah.
Yeah, it's slightly faded now, I think. Yeah, you can tell it's all right.
Do you know if that's got a manual?
It will say on the label no manual if it has no manual.
Oh, right.
It
Cheers.
should do. If not, you can open it up.
Yeah. Hey. That's one on my list. Think about that. Bloody hell. I remember selling them at Game Station, those Mario NES editions.
Yes.
If I'd have known how much they'd be now, I would have bought a few.
I'm glad that was mine when I bought it, and it's
That 2004, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I was working in Game Station in Blackpool at the time.
Yeah, because I bought the Zelda one as well. I bought both, but I didn't keep the box for that. It's
Yeah.
got crushed, so it's like
Right. Want some fudge? I've got Darius 1 and 2.
I mean, Metal Slug obviously, In the Hunt, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Silver Gun, Image Fight's a great shooter. Great, like for cheap options.
What's the, is that a Capcom 4?
This
Next,
one,
yeah.
Capcom Generations.
Robert, what's your best price on Giant Mario?
Now I have got some of those games off the list, not many, but I have found more than I expected to find. I haven't found any Mega Drive games yet, well except one, Streets of Rage 3, but they wanted £200 for that. I'm sure I can get that cheaper. There was something else I wanted to get, but I don't think the seller's here. And that was the Hong Kong Famicom that I saw at Leeds Gaming Market. And the thing is, I can't remember who was selling it. So hopefully they'll be at Doncaster. I think that's in May, if I'm not mistaken. But I think I've seen everything there is to see, unless I've missed a stall. I'll have another whiz round and see if there's any last minute bargains. Never seen that before. 2 games in one. £25. Yeah. I think I'll get that. I think I've got that on the Spectrum. Oh, Express Raider. I think this is the game I used to play when I was on holiday in Tenerife about 35 years ago. And I know it wasn't Sunset Riders, but yeah, you were running on the back of a train. So I think it's that one. Got the instructions. Yeah. Got all those apart from Dynamite Duck, so I might as well just wait and just get Dynamite Ducks on its own. Commodore. Nope. Not paying £60 for a sports game. So apparently this is the best home port of hard driving. So I might have to see for myself. So for me, the Bolton Gaming Market was really chilled out, and I'm not sure if that's because it was on Mother's Day or because it was the first event at Bolton. I don't know, but I did notice there was a hell of a lot of space. I mean, some of the areas you could swing a cat. I would say there was probably about 25, maybe 30 stall holders, and I did notice that there were a few traders that hadn't turned up, whether they cancelled at the last minute or not, I'm not sure. But hopefully there will be more Bolton Gaming Markets, because it's like 15-20 minutes up the road for me and I don't have to get a hotel, which means all the more money for games. Speaking of games, let's take a look at what I picked up. Now, the first thing I'm going to show is the last thing I bought. So I was on my way out and I spotted that the guy selling these had slashed the prices in half. So instead of 10, they were 5. And I've no idea what I'm going to do with this. It was the last one he had of this design, so I just picked it up. And that is a ruddy, great Commodore 64 sign. And these are made for Billy bookcases. But as you can see, I've got doors on mine, so I've no idea where I'm going to put it. I was hoping it was going to fit inside, you know, at the back, but it's the same length of the, you know, the outer dimensions of the billies, and I don't want to risk damaging it by cutting the ends. So yeah, a nice big Commodore sign that's probably going to be on the floor for the next 5 years. So the first stall I bought from was, of course, Michael and Jen, and they had something for me that I've been waiting for since November. He did it straight away and he forgot to bring it to Leeds. So I finally got my Atari Lynx stand. So if you don't know, Michael and Jen do these 3D printed signs for like console and computer logos like Commodore, and he did this ocean sign which lights up. And it's literally like plastic crack. I just can't stop buying them. I'm gonna have more signs than games. So of course I had to get some more signs. And this one I was blown away by because it just looks beautiful. I've no idea where it's going to go, but just like in Jurassic Park, I will find a way. So the first one is this amazing Sega Master System sign. I just love how they've got the grid in the background, so it just has that classic Master System look to it. And like I said in the video, I'll probably just stick it on the front of the shelf, but it might want to keep coming off when I take the games off. Who knows? And next one I got, because these are £5 each or £5 each or 5 for £20. And I got something I didn't think he was going to do. I was going to ask him to do one, but he's just done it anyway. So he's done Commodore and he's done Sinclair Spectrum, but now he has done an Amstrad sign, which looks the part.
So that's going to go somewhere on the Amstrad shelf. And the last two I got was the Virtual Boy and Atari Lynx. Now that's only 4, so I did get 5, but I have sent one to a friend. I'm not going to say who, in case he sees this video before he receives it, but I've sent one to someone else. Right, on to the games I picked up, and as you saw at the beginning of the video, I've made a new list. Now this is a bit more realistic than the other list, because the other one there was just too many hard to get games and therefore they were more expensive, whereas this one, these ones are going to be a lot easier to get hold of, and this just proves it because I've put 8 Master System games on here and I found 4 of them. The first of which you saw me pick up and then put back down because it was like £80. But I did go back and pick up Ninja Gaiden, or Ninja Gaiden. So it's not got the hang tab, but I can always swap it out for another case which has got the hang tab, and it has a bit of sun fading on the spine. But of course it's complete. Now this game is more like the NES version of Ninja Gaiden, where it's like a side-scrolling hack and slash, clinging to walls and what have you. I nearly bought the Atari Lynx version of Ninja Gaiden, but that is based on the arcade game, which is sort of in the vein of, say, Double Dragon, but I'm not really a fan of that game. It's just really slow and the controls are quite sluggish, which is a shame because I was hoping it was going to be like this. But yeah, this is a game I would play as opposed to just sticking it on my shelf just for the sake of owning it. But yeah, I really want to get my teeth into this game because I love it on the NES. And hopefully I will love it just as much on the Master System. And the next game I got is the last game from this series on the Master System, I think. So I've got the first 3, and now I've got the 4th, and that is Wonder Boy in Monster World. Now I love Wonder Boy in Monster Land, just because it was different to the first Wonder Boy. The Dragon's Trap, is it? I get confused. There's Dragon's Trap and Monster Lair. Monster Lair was the arcade game where it was like a shoot 'em up. Dragon's Trap is the one where you get turned into a dragon, and I think you've got to turn yourself back into Wonder Boy. But yeah, this is very, very similar to Wonder Boy in Monster Land, where you've got the... It's complete, by the way. Where you've got to collect coins, visit shops to upgrade your weapons and buy shields and armour. But yeah, really, really good game. And again, I can't wait to sit down and play more of that. Now, whenever I see this next game, it's always missing the instructions. I went to Paris and they had about 3 or 4 copies and they were all missing the manual. So when I realised this was complete, I snapped it up, and that is the classic Rastan. Now, I've played this to death on the Commodore 64 and the arcade, and the first level just seems to go on forever. Whereas on the Master System version, before I knew it, I was on level 2 in the castle, and even that level seemed really short as well, and I was facing like an end of level boss. But it does seem like it's been scaled down, which is a shame because it's quite a good port of Rastan. So this next one is another game that I always see without the manual, and finally found a copy of this game, and it's a very early Master System game. Because it has very minimalistic artwork, but instead of having like a drawing of this character, it has a photo of Rocky. So it's not a bad game. I'm not really into sports games or boxing games, but this was quite fun. I liked how it had the training before and after each boxing match. But yeah, the boxing matches just seemed to go on forever. And it was nice to see the opponents are the ones from the film. And I only got up to Clubber Lang and had my ass handed to me. Now this next one, I wasn't expecting this to be any good. So I've got it on the Mega Drive and absolutely love it on the Mega Drive. So I was expecting this to be a very subpar version of that. But I was playing it far too long. I only captured about 10 minutes of footage, but I ended up playing it for like half an hour. And that is RoboCop versus the Terminator. And it has the blood and gore of the Mega Drive. I think on the SNES there's no gore. I think it's just... I'm not sure if there's any gore, or... Do they blow up? I can't remember. But I know there's no blood on the SNES version. So they either explode or they're just like... It has blue blood or something, or green blood. I'm not sure. But yeah, the Master System and the Mega Drive version have blood and gore. And that manual is in absolutely amazing condition. I don't think the previous owner ever took it out of the box. But yeah, I was really impressed with this this game. And this wasn't on my list. I just saw it and it was an impulse buy. Because I had it on the Mega Drive. But yeah, that's going to be another game I'm going to sit down and play a lot of. And the final game I got on the Master System was another impulse buy because I had the sequel on the Mega Drive. And I just thought I'd check out the first game, and that is Galaxy Force. Now, I think Galaxy Force and Galaxy Force 2 are the same game, so it's like Afterburner. So they released Afterburner in the arcades, and then about 6 months later they did Afterburner 2, but everyone calls it Afterburner because there's very subtle differences. And I think it's the same with Galaxy Force. I had high hopes for this, but yeah, it wasn't as good as I expected. It's got the manual and the product poster. Yeah, it just seemed to go on forever, the battle in space before you get to the enemy base. And by the time I got to the base, I had hardly any shields left. But yeah, it's not a patch on the Mega Drive version. So, those are the Master System games, and I got a grand total of 2 Mega Drive games. And I only found one on my list. And that is the Mega Drive version of Cool Spot. So I've got this on the Amiga, I think the Game Gear and the Master System, and I thought I'd pick up the Mega Drive version to see what that's like. This was only £15. Not bad for a complete game, and the case is in really good condition as well. Got the hang tab and even the Sega sticker, which I always like to get. And this other game you saw me speaking about briefly in the footage, and I was saying that this is the best home port of this game. And do you know what? They were not wrong, and that is Hard Driving. And I thought for a tenner I might as well give it a go. Complete, of course. Yeah, I have never been able to go round that the loop in this game before. I always end up like going too slow or too fast or falling off the end of it, but I actually went round the loop, as you can see from this footage, and did an entire lap. But then I just ended up crashing head on into a car. But yeah, really playable game. The Commodore 64 Amstrad and Spectrum version are just horrendous. I don't think I've ever played it on the Amiga. But yeah, that is definitely the best version of hard driving. And because I hate that game, I absolutely hate hard driving, even in the arcades, whereas I could actually play that and enjoy it. And on to the last 2 or 3, because one's a double pack, and you saw me pick this up, and like I said, I've never seen this before. So it's a double pack of Double Dragon, and on the flip side, Rodland. And there's 2 tapes, one for each game, but it's just got one instruction manual with the instructions on either side for Rodland and Double Dragon. It's even got some warranty card that someone's filled in but hasn't sent off. And it's even got the receipt from Software Superstore on the 22nd of August 1992 for £5.99. A little bit more cheaper than what I paid for this. But yeah, I've never owned Double Dragon or Rodland before on the Commodore 64. I was a bit disappointed with Rodland because there's no music in game, and the backgrounds were just black rather than having nice colourful backgrounds like all the other versions. I'm not sure if the Amstrad has coloured backgrounds. I think it does. But yeah, I was surprised there was no in-game music. Double Dragon was okay. It was a lot more playable than the Melbourne House first Double Dragon on the Commodore 64. But yeah, not a bad game. And the final game is on the Spectrum, and like I mentioned, I used to play this game on holiday in Tenerife. I think it was 1991. The hotel had a basement arcade, and I was forever playing this game. I couldn't remember the name of it. I knew it was like a Western themed game, but I did a bit of digging, and it is indeed Express Raider. So yeah, it's not a bad game. It's nothing like I remember. In fact, I've not played the arcade game since I was on holiday. I've not even like downloaded it on MAME or anything. But yeah, you just like run along the top of a train, beating up enemies, and then there's like a separate mini game almost where you're shooting enemies on the train from a horse. But yeah, not a bad game. I think it's better on the other systems. This is the Spectrum version, so its sound effects aren't that great, and there's no music in game. And finally, I picked up a big wad of Zap 64. So these were £5 each, or 3 for a tenner. So I got 6 issues, including the issue I wish I had during my last video. So this is from December 1987. So if you've seen my Beyond the Ice Palace video, then you would see me as one of the CEOs of Elite Software reading a review of Thundercats, but it was the wrong magazine, because the review of Thundercats is in that one. So I just wish I had that back then. Never mind. So fingers crossed there'll be more Bolton Gaming Markets in the future. And I think the next one I'm going to be going to is Doncaster, which is in June. I thought it was in May. It's in, I think it's the 21st of June. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up that Hong Kong Famicom if the seller is there and has it with him. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.